It's only called me Dave again. God, it's dark in here, isn't it? Jesus. Let's have a bit of fun. I was watching TV the other night. There's so many channels now, isn't there? I was flicking through. I found an Indian version of X Factor. A bloke called Singh only won it, didn't he? Sing. La la la, you know, sing. Yeah, fucking hell. I was watching a film with the missus. We sat with a pouch of Quality Street. I said, I want to see your black triangle. She said, yes, all you get is a green triangle. So I said, all right, show me your fucking triangle then. Do you know what I mean? She gave a little laugh. We carried on watching a bit of the old TV, you know, film. I put my hand in the bag. Come on, the bag of Quality Street, you know, not in her, you know. And there was only one sweet left. And we both said shotgun last week. And at the same time, you know. And I said, you should have it, you know. And she said, no, you should have it. I said, well, I should have it, as you won't show me a triangle. She said, no, I should have it. As we'd sat there arguing over a bloody green triangle, as you do, with a drink. I said, you should have it, because yours come first, which is true. And second, you know. And she said, okay. So I said, to be fair, so in the end, we decided, she said, I'll toss you for it. And I thought, fucking hell, cool, yeah, I'll have a bit of that, you know. She popped the chocolate in her mouth. The chocolate, not, you know, dirty minds on this fucking place, you know. And then she got a coin out. I got me cock out for nothing. You know what I mean? She flipped the coin. Fucking hell. And that was a bit long-winded, wasn't it? You tell her I hadn't done this for a fucking few weeks. I told her, I said, you conning bastard. I washed it as well. Do you know what I mean? Cheese. It's actually a fucking chocolate triangle, you know. Conning bastard. Fucking hell. A little while ago, I got with a Thai girl. We went out. We had way too much to drink. We got back to the room. I was so pissed I couldn't get a hard on. But she could. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I said to her? I said, you know what, for a Thai girl, you're quite insecure. She said, how do you mean? I said, well, twice you've asked me if your cock was bigger than mine. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Thai girl. Fucking hell. I went to the doctors. I said, doctor, I might have gingivitis. And he said, that's impossible, you've got brown hair. I said, that's called gum disease. That's a fucking stupid name, gingivitis. My science geek friend, he said to me, do you know, men are smarter than women? Do you know why? I said, because women don't have a cock to keep their brains in, maybe? He went, well, that's true, but that's not the reason. He said, that's because women have children, and therefore they spend all their time bringing them up. And they don't study as much as men. I said, well, I didn't know that. I said, women are definitely more sensible, for sure. And he said, why? I said, well, you don't see drunk women in the fucking pub juggling with pickled eggs, do you? You don't see drunk women in a pub farting, burping and singing football songs with a t-shirt over her with her tits out. And he said, you know why? I said, yeah. Because if the women were all in the pub doing that, you wouldn't get anyone in the pub. All the fucking men would be in there, wouldn't they? Tits out. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't get a fucking bloke in the pub. So women are definitely smarter than men. Do you know what I mean? Okay, now you get on the phone. Lads, tits out down the red line. Let's go. There'd be a fucking stampede, wouldn't there? Landlords, if you want your takings to go up, you should consider that as a fucking viable option. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, disclaimer. I'm a comedian. It's a fucking joke. I'm not suggesting for ladies to go in the pub and get their tits out. You know? It'd be easier to give a geezy a business card, you know, and you just pay on, you know, one-on-one, you know. OnlyFans, you know, that sort of shit, you know. Fucking hell. You tell I'm a blue comedian, can't you? Although I look like a black one, alright? It's dark, isn't it? Well, I kitted it out. Looks a bit tidier. My mate married the same woman twice. I said, imagine that. He said, well, the divorce didn't fucking work out. He said they could never agree with anything. When they got married, he said, I do. She said, no, you fucking don't, you twat. So, and when you're married, the sex is always better after the fucking divorce. Fucking hell. He said, when they split up, you could hear a fucking pin drop in their house. He said, I didn't see the fucking hand grenade in her other hand, you know. He said she was thick as shit. I told her to go commando, and she went to bed with fucking camouflage cream all over her face, and the fucking machine gun kept digging him in the ribs. You know what I Fucking hell. She always insisted on loads of foreplay, but he didn't like the other two men that fucking turned up. Fucking hell. She always said to him, sex was better on holiday. In fact, she used to call him halfway through and go, this is how you fucking should be giving it to me, dear. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. Sex is better on holiday. Sent him a postcard. Yeah. When you go on holiday, you always get it on, don't you? If you're young, you know. And when you get back, it fucking stops. In fact, the postcard came before she did. When he got married, the vicar said, do you take this woman? He said, yes, but not as fucking often as I'd like, vicar. Do you know what I mean? Do you take this woman? He said, I didn't say from behind, I meant in a holy matrimony. And he said, even the word matrimony has got fucking money in it. They're doing it for the money. Do you know what I mean? Holy matrimony. There's nothing holy going on in our fucking bedrooms, is there, lads? Do you know what I mean? You know, here, Tony, you backstart the missus while we all gang bang our friend. Very holy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Tony. Yeah, yes, it's holy, isn't it? Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? We all have fun, don't we? And Mrs. said to me, I'm getting old and everything's going south. I said, I know, dear. She said, you fucking what? I said, you look as lovely as ever, dear. But you could use a little cheering up. So she said, good, will you pay for a facelift for me? And I said, that's fucking expensive, that is, you know. The old facelift. She said, yeah, but I'm worth it. I said, yeah. I said, what about if the fucking face underneath is fucking uglier than the one you got? You know what I mean? She said, what did you say? Well, I had to think of something quickly. I said, honestly, you haven't aged a lot, you know. Fucking sounds stupid, doesn't it? Yeah, well, my mate, his missus died on him. He didn't notice for a week. Apparently the sex was the same, but the fucking washing just piled up to the fucking ceiling. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. I'm sure it's not like that for everybody, is it? Some people are lucky cunts. Well, she is. Yeah, I thought that was a bit mean. I do the washing up, lads, and so should he if I had done. You know what I mean? Yeah. He said, that was my birthday a little while ago. If I put that many candles on my cake, it'd fucking cook herself. You wouldn't need a fucking oven, would you? You need a fucking fire extinguisher on standby. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mrs. said, what would you like from me on your birthday? I said, a bit of action would be nice. I mean, a bit of love and affection, you know, would be nice. And I said, you could make me breakfast in bed. I got home from work, she'd only put the fucking bed in the kitchen. Lazy cow. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking breakfast in bed. Yeah, my mate came round. He's a very holistical kind of fella. You know, herbs and potions, and he looks half his age. He said, Dave, you've got to try Tai Chi. I said, go on then, 2 sugars. Splash of milk. Tai Chi. That's Tai Fu, isn't it? Yeah, I said, I'll get the kettle on. He said, no, Tai Chi, not fucking Tai Fu. He said, I said, it has gotten windy outside. He said, that's a fucking typhoon. He gave me a session. That was really good. Honestly, give it a go. Oh, really. Chilled me right out. I said, don't knock it until you tried it. Yeah, I did it holding a cup of tea, talking about the weather. But, you know, do it properly. Give that bit a miss when you try it. Well, I did meditation. And my mate said, well, that's better than sitting around doing nothing, isn't it? Fucking better than sitting around doing nothing. I went in one of these holistical shops for some joss sticks. And I got it wrong. I asked for fucking Joss Stone the first time. I ended up buying a fucking CD. I mean, joss sticks, you know, they don't half fucking smell. It's supposed to be good for you. I coughed me fucking lungs right up. I sat there going, healthy. Not. Anyway, I went in a holistic shop and I bought this relaxation CD. Sound of the Ocean Waves. I thought, this is going to make me need a piss, isn't it? You know, Sound of the Ocean Waves. I put it in the CD player, pressed play, stood there like a twat. Nothing come out of it. I took it back and I said, I'd like a refund. I bought this fucking relaxing CD, Sound of the Ocean Waves, £5 fucking quid. And I got home, I put it in the CD player, pressed play, nothing. He said, the tide's out, innit? I said, you cheeky bastard. Fucking, should be something on it. Not a fucking blank CD. Yeah, fucking hell. My mate was with his missus for ages, and they argued the whole time, and she was horrible to him. Then he said, Dave, we decided to get married. I said, what? With that cow? I said, why don't you wait a while, mate? You know, and don't take out any fucking life insurance. And it literally made a whole new meaning to the phrase, tying the fucking knot. 2 weeks later, he did tie the knot. He fucking hung himself. Relationships are hard work these days. And I said, fuck me. He said, there aren't much of that either. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. Yeah. Oh, I phoned the missus up. And darling, that's me. How's it going? I hope it's going well. She said, yeah. She said, yeah, I was thinking of you, darling. I said, were you? She said, yeah, I'm having a shit. I regret buying those fucking camouflage knickers now. I haven't seen a fucking fanny for months. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I bet you can remember the first time you had sex, can't you? I can. I kept the fucking receipt. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking hell. I got a Krispy Kreme donut and I put it over me cock. And I walked up to her naked and said, darling, eat this. The cheeky cow pulled it off and ate the fucking donut. Romance is dead, isn't it? I did get her back, though. I bought some of her favourite drink. And she was rat-arsed. Completely rat-arsed later that night. And she pulled me off and I ate a fucking donut. I said, well, fair is fair. Quality and all of that, you know. And that was the second time that day she had creme all over her fucking face. Oh. From the donut, you know. Like 2 helpings. Yeah, fucking hell. You know, when you first get with someone, it's all lovey-dovey. You can't keep your hands off her, can you? You got your lips on her nips and she's got a gob round your knob. A few years later, you're fucking defrosting the fridge. Or 4 players you start calling it, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I spent half an hour on the rug last night with the missus. I thought, well, if we get the corners finished, we can sell it next week. You know what I mean? Well, you thought I meant sex, didn't you? So fucking hell. She's that cold and frigid when she opens her legs, a little fucking light comes on in a beaver. Do you know what I mean? Fucking light up the fucking whole house. Yeah, fucking hell. My mate went to a marriage guidance counsellor, and the counsellor said, well, there must be something you both have in common. He said, yeah, there is. None of us suck cock. You know what I mean? Well, that's in common, isn't it? Yeah, I went in the bank the other day. They make everything fucking difficult these days, don't they? I went up to a group of customer service staff and said, I've come to check me balance. Can you help? Can't push me over. He said, honestly, your balance is not very fucking good, mate. Do you know what I mean? Check me fucking balance. Yeah, I was arguing with a missus the other night, and she said I couldn't give 2 fucks. I said, well, one would be good. Try that. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. My missus is lucky. Yours comes first. And second. First and second. Fucking hell. Yeah. My mate said to me, he said, you are what you are because of your parents, Dave. I said, yeah. He said, yeah. And he said, well, I was a test tube baby. I said, so your dad was a wanker then? You know what I mean? Fucking test tube baby. Dad was definitely a wanker, wasn't he? An advert on TV. Have you suffered with domestic violence? If you have, call this number, 08457. I called him, I said, the cleaner at work hit me with a fucking mop today. Surely that's fucking domestic violence. They hung up on me. You know what I mean? Bastards. Talking of domestic violence, I bought my missus one of them mood rings. You put it on your finger, you know, the little colour on there. Yeah. When she's happy, the little crystal turns purple. Yep, yeah. And when she's sad, that turns black. Like this fucking room right now. And when she's angry, it leaves a fucking big red mark on my face. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking hell. And Sunday for a little while, I've been getting in some sort of shape. Round is a good shape, isn't it? Yeah, I went in the gym. Pushing, straining, groaning. I couldn't get the fucking door open. Maglock. Got one of these fucking vests. Can't fit in the fucking thing. Get a small one. Yeah. When I first got my missus, I said, be honest with me, love. You're not just with me because I got a big willy, are you? She said, no, of course not. I love every fucking inch of you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I was invited to an orgy last week. I love a good orgy, but the trouble is you don't know who to thank on the fucking way out, do you? Yeah, my mate said, yes, 9:30 till very late. what's the dress code? He said, there isn't one, just come as you are. Come as you are. You know what I mean? I said, well, it must be like a guest list, you know, or keys in a basket or £10. He said, nah, first come, first served. You can't fucking make this shit up, can you? Well, I did, but you know what I mean. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment, subscribe, follow. Let me know what you like more of. Give me some fucking ideas. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. And Dave will see you in the next one. Take care.